Hey guys, this is Mubashir and today we are going to analyze the weekly market snapshot for this week. Obviously, we are going to cover the areas like domestic one for the India and also for the global and for the crypto. So let's start the video with the domestic one. So let's start with the Nifty 50. As we know that there was a news was spreading about the that there is a US and India talk is happening that leads to the stock market, especially Nifty 50 was going up for the 1 month around 4.5% approx. But again, it is down as you can observe this, and maybe that talk is quite weakening. That's why this is happening, right? As we can see, it was continuously going up. Okay, here it is. So okay, here it is. Look at this. Was continuously going up and it was up by the around 5.8%. So you can see was it has break the all-time high. It was previous all-time high, not the all-time high, and then again bounced back from that level because that top now weekend. So there is no major news in the domestic now, and we know that export trade policy remains under watch because of their US tariff risk. No major changes announced this week, so exporters remain in watch and wait. Right, big flows like foreign institutional investors reversed previously outflows and have started net buying again this month. As we know that from the 2 to 4 months, oh sorry, 3 to 4 months, the FIIs continuously selling from India, even though there was a huge buying from the domestic side. But still, we know that the FIIs are very important component, right? Because if they are taking out their money from India, that leads to the depreciation of the money. That also impact it is going to impact the export imports, right? And if we talk about the monetary policy, Reserve Bank of India latest minutes remarks continue to show potential room for rate easing if inflation remains soft, right? A positive for interest sensitive sector, right? So let's go with the global one. For the global one, I think S&P 500 will be the best. We always check S&P 500 for this, right? Where it is. Basically, they are the top companies from the top 500 companies. Okay, as we can see, it is continuously going up. So if we talk about the US inflation data for this September came in slightly below expectation. They were it is around 3%, which was and they were expecting only 3.1%, which boosted the markets and raises the hope for the LL policy easing from the Federal Reserve. As we can see that here, it's continuously going up. That's great. So the US and also the US tax policy environment remains active. I mean guidance tax reforms implementation, but no new major broad tax cut law was definitely passed this week. Rather, we have ongoing tax policy updates, guidance releases, and hearings. And we know that there are tariffs. Okay, tariff policies. If you talk about the US tariff policies, the US continues to use tariffs and trade policy as a tools which keeps uncertainty higher for exporters. Globally, supply chains and inflation, as we know that they are it is too much impacted, especially exporters. US trade policies are too much effect. And let's go with the crypto. So for the crypto, we watch BTC, USDT. Okay, here it is. Binance. We can see there is a major crash, like I mean, we can, it is a correction, we can say, not a crash from this level to this level. Is down by this 17% approx, right? So it is the major impact. If we talk about the crypto market, saw meaningful outflows from the some ETFs, investment flows, vehicles, and it is experiencing high dynamic sensitive to the micro cruise inflation rate policy rather than pure crypto only headlines, right? The shift from the speculative altcoins momentum to asset-backed tokenization and institutional flows continue to be a background theme, right? Which implies crypto is increasingly tied to broader financial market dynamics rather than being isolated. That's the reason which because of which the crypto is continuously going down, because we know that because of the all this ETF thing, they were continuously pumping. Now there is a huge outflow from there. That's why it is down. So overall market outlook for this week, it is quite we can say negative. And if you see this as an investor, it is kind of opportunity for us to invest more, right? So that we can get the advantage of the rupee cash average. So yeah, thanks for the watching. Have a nice day.